Hi, my name is Rebecca Newman, and I am the Reference and Instruction Librarian here at the University of Charleston. Today I'm going to show you how to find resources for your leadership courses, and this might also be beneficial in order to find resources for some of your other courses as well. So the first thing you need to do is get to the library homepage, and you can do that by typing in the URL, which is www.ucwv.edu/library, or a link to the library is in the bottom of any eLearn page. If you scroll all the way to the very, very bottom, there's a gray box, and there's a link there. Or you can go to Academics, and then over to Services and Programs and Library. The first thing I'm going to show you today is UC Quest. When I click on UC Quest, it's going to take me straight to the search box because I'm on campus. When you click on UC Quest, it's going to take you to a page that says Appalachian College Association, and it's going to ask for credentials. Your professor may have posted those credentials somewhere in the classroom. If they have not, all you have to do is email librarian@ucwv.edu, and we would be happy to provide those for you. Once in UC Quest, you can either type in something specific, like the title of a book or the title of an article, or you can type in key terms. I encourage you to check out these limiters on the left. Limiters do what the name suggests, and they limit the scope of your search. So you can limit by date. For example, if your professor wants newer articles, you could put in 2009 to 2019. Understand that not all material is going to be brand new. For example, the original creators of the authentic leadership style, those original articles are decades old. So you might use something that is that old if you're talking about the beginning of the theory, right? But if your professors request that you use newer items because that's the purpose of the assignment, then you can use this limiter here. The other thing you can limit by is resource type. For example, if they say, I just want peer-reviewed journals, you can click on this box. Peer-reviewed journals tend to be written by experts and checked by experts, and they are also based on material from other experts. So the in-text citations are attached to a reference list full of other expert materials. That's why your professors prefer that you use these sorts of items because they're as close to accurate as possible. Nothing is perfect, but they're as close as possible. You can also limit by subject or by language. Another thing you might do in your leadership courses is download eBooks. In order to download an ebook, type in the name of the ebook. We'll pretend this is it, and click the download button. It's then going to ask you to sign into your EBSCO account. If you do not have credentials for your EBSCO account, again, you're going to email librarian@ucwv.edu and ask for those credentials. Not only will I send you your credentials, but I'll send you step-by-step instructions for downloading ebooks in case you're stuck or have missed a step. Once you are in your account, you'll see this screen. You cannot check this box until you have downloaded Adobe Digital Editions onto your computer. You might have some version of Adobe on your computer, but it is probably not Digital Edition. So I would guess that if you're unsure, you probably do not have it yet. This can be a bit of a process because you have to authorize your account. So again, all you have to do when you email librarian and ask for your EBSCO credentials, that list of directions that I will send you not only includes directions on how to get there, but there is also an extra sheet that I will send you about authorizing your Adobe account. If at any point you become frustrated and you would rather just call and walk through this process on the phone, you can also email librarian to set up an appointment, and one of the librarians will sit with you and help you with this process. I'm going to exit out of here for now. So again, not only do I have eBooks, but I have access to a large number of academic journals on the topic. Now that I've kind of showed you what's in UC Quest, I'm going to go back to the library homepage. The other thing that you might use in your program are a couple of our databases specifically designed for leadership. Click on Database Access. We're first going to scroll down to the P's. ProQuest Dissertations and Theses database has a large number of articles, or not articles, dissertations, extensive papers, a couple hundred pages long on particular leadership topics. The other thing we have is the SAGE Management and Organizational Studies collection. So again, ProQuest and SAGE are the predominant databases that you will use in this program, but try to think outside of the box. So leadership, for example, and leadership styles, if you think about them, have a great deal to do with psychology, for example. We have psychology databases. It might have something to do with business, or the topic that you're interested in might have something to do with business. We have business databases. And if you are in the medical field, PubMed is not in UC Quest. Remember I told you that a lot of our databases are embedded into UC Quest, but some of them aren't? PubMed is one of those. So you might find something on leadership in hospitals in PubMed. The last thing that I will tell you about is Google Scholar. It is another place to find vetted material on your topic. Google Scholar claims to be a collection of scholarly material. It is the case that sometimes the algorithm gets it wrong and what you're looking at is not scholarly. So pay attention to what you're looking at to ensure that it is something like a journal article. How do I know if something's a journal article? They look a lot alike, right? Or they have the same elements, I should say. There is the title, the authors are listed, there is generally an abstract, an introduction, new either data or content. It might not be data like qualitative or quantitative data. It might just be new content or new analysis of something, but generally it's adding something to the field. And then if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you also have reference lists. And reference lists, by the way, are a great way to find other material related to that topic. You might also find master's and dissertations and PhD level dissertations on UC Quest or Google Scholar, and those are acceptable to use as well. If it has the link here to the right, it is probably in full text. If it does not, do not pay for it. What you do is you copy this, just copy this little citation if this is what you need, and you, again, email librarian@ucwv.edu, paste this right into the email, and we will find it for you. Perhaps you've just missed it in our databases, for example, just no big deal at all, or we can order it from another library and we will send it to you free of cost. There are some exceptions, like there are some limitations on the Harvard Business Review, for example, but 9 times out of 10, whatever you need, we can get to you free of cost. The last thing I'm going to do now that I've showed you where to find some resources is go back to EBSCO here. So we know that when we use a resource, when we use ideas for a resource, even if we express those ideas in our own word, we need to include a citation, right? My advice to you for now, if you're not clear on citation, is every time a sentence contains an idea that you took from a resource, put the author's name behind the sentence and the date. Even if you have 3 sentences in a row, for now, put the author's name behind every sentence with the date. I'm going to show you some tools in EBSCO that might help with this process. Right here, there's a Cite button. In leadership, you're going to use APA. That is not the case in courses outside of leadership. You need to look at the syllabus and pay attention and figure out what manual of style they want you to use. For example, in a history course, you might use Chicago, and in an English course, you might use MLA. But in most of your leadership courses, you're using APA. And you're going to take this APA reference, And this is going to go in your reference list. These names, just the last names, are going to go in text behind that sentence that contains an idea that doesn't belong to you, that you took from this. I will tell you that this tool does not work perfectly. For example, in APA format, the title of an article should be written like a sentence. So ethical, authentic, servant leadership. These should not be capitalized, but when you're just starting and you need something, this is a good place to start. This is a good tool. The other thing your professors might request is a link to the article, or maybe you want to save links to the articles because you want to go back to them later. Do not use this link up here because it will not work. What you have to click on is the permalink. This permalink will provide a permanent link to this article. So again, if you either want to save these links for yourself or your professor requests them, please ensure to use the permalink. I think that is all I have for you today. It's just a general overview of the library. You are free to call or email at any time. Again, email librarian@ucwv.edu with any of your questions. We're a friendly staff. We don't believe in stupid questions, so please don't feel intimidated or like you're asking something that is silly. We are always happy to help you and help you learn and teach you how to do research. So again, if you have any questions, always feel free to email librarian@ucwv.edu.